Hey everybody, Console Collector here. For today's video, I want to talk about the Nintendo 3DS, specifically digital games on the Nintendo 3DS eShop. The 3DS eShop is closing very soon, so I wanted to share a few digital games from the eShop that I really enjoy and I think you should check out before it's too late. We're going to take a look at 10 digital-only games from the eShop, and to the best of my knowledge, I don't think these have ever had a physical release in North America. I really hope these games don't get lost to time, but either way, with all that said, let's just jump right in. First game I want to talk about today is Zombie Panic in Wonderland DX. I love zombie games, so of course the title drew me in right away when I saw this on the eShop. As soon as I fired it up, I thought, hey, this game seems really familiar. That's odd. Well, it turns out this game is very similar to Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue on the original DS. This game is actually really fun. You're basically just taking on waves and waves of zombies. You can collect power-ups and use different weapons to take out the zombies. You get some pretty simple normal zombies, and you get some special zombies, some big ones, some fast ones. It's just one of those really fun arcade-style shooting kind of games. I do have to say though, this game is pretty hard. It's fun, but hard. The good thing though is, I didn't mind having to replay a few stages just because I was having so much fun. You start to learn, you gotta take out the bigger enemies before the little guys. If they all get too close to the screen, you do get a chance to do a melee attack to help protect yourself, but you definitely don't want them that close to you. You want to keep your range from them. This game offers a story mode and an arcade mode, but it doesn't matter which one you choose. I think this is a fun game that you guys should definitely check out. Next game I want to talk about is called Radio Hammer. This is kind of an interesting title for a game, Radio Hammer, right? Well, if you really think about it, it's a music-based rhythm game where you use a hammer to basically hammer the notes. I enjoy rhythm games. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I do like ones like this that are very unique. I actually had a lot of fun playing through this one. What's nice is it's not overly difficult. You only have a couple planes of notes to hit. It's not like Rock Band or Guitar Hero where you have a ton of different sections you have to go and hit through and different buttons. This is just more of a casual, fun rhythm game that has some great music and a bit of a quirkiness to it. One thing I like about this game is it's not traditional notes either. It's actually just enemies running up and you're bashing with hammers. Very unique idea that's kind of fun. It definitely adds to the charm of the game, because most rhythm games, you're just hitting basic boring notes. So shout out to the guys that made Radio Hammer for making this game very unique. If you're a fan of rhythm games that are low stress and more on the casual side, I think this is one you guys should check out. Runny Egg. Yes, that's right, this game is called a Runny Egg. Honestly, that's a pretty stupid name, but when you think about it, it makes sense. You're an egg that has feet, and you run. Runny Egg. When I saw this title, I am like, what is this game even about, Runny Egg? So I downloaded it just to see what it was like, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. It kind of feels like a Sonic game, really. It's not like super fast speed, but you get to run and you can pick up some, real decent speed. It's kind of like a hybrid, I'd say, between Mario and Sonic. It's got platforming, wall jumping, you get to collect things, and you get to go really fast and run through enemies and go over different kind of obstacles. So yeah, kind of a mix between Mario and Sonic. Just instead of a plumber or a hedgehog, you're an egg that runs. Runny Egg. Surprisingly, this game can be played by all sorts of people. My youngest kid really liked it on easy mode, and I could play it on the hardest difficulty and have fun. So whether it's you want to be casual or you want to challenge, Runny Egg is a surprisingly good action platformer on the 3DS eShop. I think Runny Egg is the perfect example of a good game with a bad name. I think you should check out Runny Egg, not just because it's a good game, but because it's so much fun. When your friends ask you what are you playing, you say Runny Egg and they're just confused. This game is called Night Sky. With that title, you probably have no idea what kind of game it is. Well, that's how I felt when I first downloaded it. I was curious, Night Sky with a floating black ball. What is this game? It turns out this game is amazing. I love games that I can just pick up and play and relax with. Very low stress games. It's just great after a long day. You just want to unwind and not, overwork your brain. Well, I gotta say Night Sky is a perfect relaxing game. I really enjoyed games on the DS like the Zensis series, where it's just a bunch of really calming, nice background music, puzzle solving, and that's very similar to what Night Sky is. But instead of just standard puzzles, you're actually a little ball, and your goal is to get through different environments. Now don't get me wrong, this game isn't just mindless. You do gotta think, because some of the later puzzles, you really gotta say, hey, how do I get through this? And you gotta move objects, or release certain things, get over gaps. There's definitely some thought to it, but it's just so calming and relaxing. I would call it a relaxing puzzle game. Or if you guys know what ASMR is, an ASMR video game. This game has such nice calming background sounds. I wouldn't even call it music, more just like rain falling or just little sound effects. Even the sound of your ball bouncing around. It's just something about it, it's just so soothing and relaxing. The visuals are great too. You got nice mix of colors, you got darkness and brightness in some parts. And it's just, yeah, overall package. It's a very relaxing game. Out of all 10 of the games that I played and captured footage for this video, I played this one the most. I just wanted to get a few minutes of footage for the video and ended up playing this game for over an hour. That's just how great this game is for me. I love this game so much that if it had a physical release, I definitely would buy it. If you want a calm and relaxing game to unwind with at the end of a long, busy, hard day, I think you guys should definitely check out Night Sky. This game is called Harmonite. This is another rhythm game on the Nintendo eShop. Now, this isn't a normal rhythm game. I would call it an action rhythm game. And this game was actually made by Game Freak. And you may recognize that name. Yeah, Game Freak made the Pokemon games. I call this game an action rhythm game because you're not just standing there hitting notes. Your character is actually running and doing notes, and you have to jump. It's a really interactive rhythm game. One thing that stands out really well for me in this game is the music. As you collect notes and hit different objects, it actually plays along the song with you. And if you miss notes, well, you miss that note in the song. It really just flows and works really well. I love the music in this game. It really is just enjoyable. And it turns out there's actually some Pokemon tracks featured in this game. So that's a nice little nod to Pokemon from Game Freak. I also like in this game how they change up the levels. You're not always just running from left to right collecting notes. There's so many different styles of different levels that it's actually really enjoyable and doesn't get too stale. I've actually put several hours into this game, and honestly I find it hard to put down just because I'm enjoying the music, I'm having fun. There's definitely a challenge to it. There's a few levels where I miss quite a few notes just because you're not expecting it, but overall it's really fun and enjoyable. I wish this game had a physical release because this is such a great game that I'd hate for it to be lost to time. If it got a physical release, I definitely would own it. This rhythm game is so unique that I feel like people that don't even like rhythm games would enjoy this one. This is not a traditional rhythm game, so I think that's why you guys should check this one out. Now let's talk about Sploosh. You're probably wondering, what kind of game is Sploosh? Well, it has a weird name, and what does it make you think of? Splashing water? That's what I thought of. If you thought the same, you're close. It does have something to do with water. Basically, the concept of this game is you're dropping a marble or a bouncy ball or a rock or an iron ball or a jewel down a well. But the way they put this game together, it's not boring. It's actually addicting. You literally take an object and you drop it down a well, you move it around, try to get it through boosts and avoid objects, avoid breaking your object. It's actually really fun. That probably doesn't sound that great. And on paper, it doesn't sound great. It kind of sounds boring. This is the type of game that you can pick up and play for 20 minutes, have a blast, and turn it off. You get a number of different wells you can choose to drop your items down. As well, you get a number of different items to drop down. Like I mentioned before, you can get bouncy balls, or a stone, a jewel, or an iron ball. Those are the ones I have unlocked right now. But yeah, just drop it down the well and watch what happens. I even have to say the dialogue they put in before every level is actually kind of good too. It's kind of funny. It has a little bit of a backstory of why the object is going down the well. Did we need backstory for a game where you drop a ball down a well? No, but it's there, and I appreciate it. Sploosh is just one of those games that you read the name on the eShop and you overlook it, because again, I think this is a good game with a bad name. This is Dementium Remastered. I've talked about Dementium on this channel before. Well, this is the Dementium game for the original Nintendo DS, but remastered for the Nintendo 3DS eShop. Now, honestly, I'm going to start off by saying I played both, and I don't really see a huge difference graphically or with the controls. The main reason why I wanted to feature Dementium on this video is because the game is so expensive now, and this remastered version on the 3DS eShop is a cheaper alternative way to play this game. I love horror games, and this is one of the few horror games on the DS or the 3DS, and it's really enjoyable. I have to admit the controls were a bit of a learning curve at first. You used the stylus basically as a second joystick, which if you're familiar with certain first-person games on the DS, you're kind of used to it. Yeah, it definitely took me a little bit of getting used to playing through this. It can be hard to move around and look quickly and aim, but after a few minutes of playing, you kind of get the hang of it, and it works. Considering the lack of options they had, since there's no dual joystick at the time, I understand why they went this way, and again, it works, it gets the job done. So enough about that. The game itself is actually really good. You're in this old hospital, you wake up, you don't know what's going on, and you're walking around trying to figure out what to do. It's definitely got some puzzle aspects to it. For a handheld Nintendo 3DS horror game, they did a great job of translating that horror to the player. The thing that really stands out for me in Dementium is the atmosphere. You got dark corridors, you got really great ambient music that just puts you on edge, and you never know what's coming around every corner. One thing I noticed with this game, when I played both the DS versions, Dementium and Dementium the Ward, it feels like a Silent Hill game. Silent Hill always has such a great atmosphere, and that again is what really stands out in Dementium, is that atmosphere is more terrifying than the actual enemies themselves. I really enjoyed this game, and if you're a fan of horror and you want to try something different, especially a horror on a Nintendo handheld, I think you guys should check this game out. Now let's talk about Pronoun Plus. I think that's the name of it, or is it just Pronoun? Not too sure, but I call it Pronoun Plus. This is another game that has a really simple concept, but is surprisingly fun. So what kind of game is Pronoun Plus? Well, you're a little ball, and you're going down rails and avoiding objects. It kind of reminds me of Sonic Adventure when you're riding down and skidding on those metal pipes and stuff. It's very similar to that. This game has a simple concept, but boy, it's tricky. Like, even if you watch me play here, I'm bumping into things, and you get so fast on it, like, you really can't control it. And you spin around with using your circle pad there, and yeah, just the patterns on it, it can be really tough to not crash into anything. But instead of being a really cool hedgehog, you're literally just a little ball. And you might think, well, how is this fun? Well, it's actually a racing game. Yeah, you're racing other balls down this pipe. And as hard as I tried, I could not get a perfect run. I kept bumping into things, slowing down, and I've never even gotten first once in this entire game of all the times I've played it. So it's definitely got a challenge. Again, a simple concept that's fun and challenging. Pronoun Plus is just another unique Nintendo eShop game that is a lot of fun, but has a great challenge. So I think you guys should check it out before it's gone. we're going to take a look at Yumis Odd Odyssey. Yumis Odd Odyssey is another fun, unique Nintendo 3DS eShop game with a unique twist. This game I would consider an action platformer. You play as this girl Yumi, and you're basically trying to traverse different stages, find this little secret hidden door, and move on to the next stage. The gimmick of this game is you have this little hook shot. Maybe it's just a wire. I'm not sure what to call it, but it reminds me of a hook shot. You can hang off it, you can swing off it, and it basically helps you get through each stage and all the different obstacles. This game does have a little bit of a learning curve. My very first time playing it, I had trouble hooking onto things and getting up, and I kept falling in the water pits. So yeah, definitely a bit of a learning curve, but once you figure it out, it's really fun and unique. There's certain obstacles and places I don't think I was supposed to get to that way, but I managed to do it. Yeah, there's a lot of freedom with this hook. Not only does the hook allow you to climb and traverse the stages, you can actually take out enemies with it as well. As you progress through the game, obviously the stages get harder and the puzzles get more challenging, and there's a few where I had to go through over and over and over because I couldn't figure out how to get up to these places. I have to say Yumis Odd Odyssey is definitely a very unique game on the 3DS eShop, and I enjoyed it, and I think it's another great game that you guys should check out. The final game we're going to talk about for this video is Rhythm Heaven Megamix. This is the follow-up to Rhythm Heaven for the original DS, but this is the eShop digital-only 3DS Rhythm Heaven. If you're familiar with Rhythm Heaven, you know exactly what this game is about. If you're not familiar, it's almost like a WarioWare game. I do believe this game had a physical release in the PAL region, but here in North America, it's only available on the Nintendo 3DS eShop digitally. A series of mini-games that are time-based. Instead of being random like WarioWare, these are rhythm-based mini-games. The key thing they teach you in this game is follow the flow, listen to the flow, and honestly, it really works. You gotta feel that flow and get into the beat, and it really helps you with the timing of the hits. This is another game that has a bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, it's really enjoyable. You may have seen a pattern here on these digital eShop games. A lot of them are rhythm games. I'm not even the hugest rhythm game fan, but I just really enjoyed the rhythm-based games that I featured on today's video. With this game, after playing it for about half an hour, I actually was nodding my head, tapping my foot, going along with the music. It was really enjoyable. I had a lot of fun with these games. It's really too bad that this game is stuck on the digital 3DS eShop, because I think if it was a physical release, this game would have sold pretty well. I know the original Rhythm Heaven has quite the fan base, including myself, so really kind of bummed that this didn't come out physically for the 3DS. But either way, I have it downloaded to my DS, so I can enjoy it hopefully for years to come. One other thing about this game that I really liked is the minigame variety is so cool. The ideas they had behind it to work with the music is just really smart and enjoyable. From doing the Karate Joe punching of the pots, to filling the robots, and then using the badminton guys on the planes. Yeah, everything just works really well. Especially the fruit falling down the stairs. When that one came up, I had no idea how they're going to make fruit falling down the stairs into a rhythm style game. And boy, I was actually surprised because it was a lot of fun and the music was good. Like, great concept. I have to say that Rhythm Heaven Megamix is definitely one of those fun games you can pick up and play for a few minutes, put down, and continue on your day. Hopefully you guys can check out this game before it disappears. Alright, so that was 10 digital Nintendo 3DS eShop games that I think you guys should check out. It's kind of bittersweet that the eShop is closing. It's been around for a long time, and a lot of us have grown up with it and enjoyed it, and I'm just sad to see it go. Even though I'm a physical game collector, there's still been a few digital games that I've enjoyed on the eShop, as you've seen in today's video. I guess just this shows that nothing lasts forever, and we're getting older. So this is kind of my farewell to the Nintendo eShop. Thanks for the memories. To wrap up this video, let's keep the memories alive. Let us know in the comments below what were some of your favorite memories or games you played with the Nintendo 3DS eShop. Alright, that's going to wrap up today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. You can follow me on social media. The information is on screen now and in the description below. I want to thank everybody for watching. I am the Console Collector, and until the next video, happy gaming.